Hey Lightspeed, I'm Ben.
And I'm David.
Together, we're Verix, and we're building intelligent lending software for banks to take the commercial underwriting process from months to minutes.
I'm originally from Boston, and I did my undergrad at Yale, where I got a Bachelor's of Science in Physics and Economics as a double major. After graduating in 2014, I moved back to Boston and worked at Bain Capital, doing private equity investing for 3 years. Specifically, I focused on enterprise software private equity. While I was at Bain, I also started a web scraping company called QuickPulse.co, where we scraped Yelp data and Amazon data for restaurant locations and product pricing, and I sold that data to investors at hedge funds and private equity firms.
I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. I did my undergrad in applied math at Brown and then studied computer science for my master's at Berkeley. I started my career in management consulting at Bain in Boston, and then worked at an education technology startup called Zern in New York, where I worked in a product development role, and then worked as a data scientist at Pure Storage here in Mountain View.
The vast majority of small business owners still get loans the old-fashioned way, by going into a bank, typically the same one that handles their business's deposits. The borrower spends months putting together a financial application with all their documents and sends that to a loan officer. The loan officer then drops these applications off with credit analysts. Unfortunately, credit analysts spend over 50% of their time doing manual duplicative data entry, also known as financial spreading, into antiquated software. It takes months and leaves borrowers praying that someday their loan gets approved. The entire process leaves everyone angry and frustrated. Verix removes this major process bottleneck by completely automating the financial spreading process. Here's how it works. This is an example of a U.S. business tax return. Normally, a credit analyst would need to manually go down the tax return and enter the key financials directly into the underwriting template that their bank uses by hand. With Verix, the credit analyst can simply upload the tax return directly onto our platform, and we use optical character recognition to directly extract the key financials off of the tax return and transform them into the two main underwriting templates used through the industry, Moody's and Vertical IQ. The analyst simply downloads a CSV file of the data and can drop the data right into their underwriting template ready to go.
We're excited to work on this problem for a couple of reasons. We knew that we wanted to work on something in small business finance, and we ended up interviewing over 100 small business owners, banks, and government regulators. And what we realized is that getting a small business loan is still incredibly challenging. And a lot of the pain and frustration is really due to the bank's internal processes and the lack of sophistication that they have around technology.
And I've seen this problem play out firsthand. My dad runs a small manufacturing company in New Hampshire that employs around 50 people, and I watched how slow and painstaking it was for him to apply for a small business loan and get a bank to ultimately underwrite. So beyond recognizing the importance of this problem, we think the two of us are the right team to try to solve it. So for me, I spent over a year working on software private equity deals at Bain and have a deep understanding for the industry and its competitors.
And on my side, I'm excited to work on this problem from a data perspective. I think it's fascinating how banks take in huge amounts of data from borrowers, have to build complex rules-based underwriting algorithms, and then output a result. I think together we're very excited to work on this over the summer and hope to be partnering with Lightspeed in that.